So today's topic is very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to be talking about why women of light, women that are healers, very deeply intuitive with big hearts, tend to attract and go into a relationship with very dark, damaged, and traumatized men. And please don't take the word damaged negatively. As humans, we are all damaged, but there's a difference between being damaged and actively working on yourself and healing your trauma and letting go of the heaviness, compared to being damaged and making that a part of your personality and projecting that pain onto everyone else around you, regardless if they're trying to help you or not. So first, I want to start off by saying that abusive relationships and relationships that are very traumatic and painful, they tend to be big wake-up calls for us. And I see that in my personal life. When I was 18, I was in a relationship with a psychotic, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about him like that, but he was crazy. He was actually very crazy. And he was 10 years older than me, very traumatized, had a very rough childhood and upbringing. And the amount of pain and suffering that I went through in that relationship ended up making me sick because I was holding so much emotional trauma in my body. And it was from that sickness where I was literally forced to completely stop everything in my life and to look at myself and self-reflect and realize who I was becoming, what I was doing, and the path that I was walking. And from that experience, that literally triggered my spiritual awakening and changed the trajectory of my life, of my future, put me super deep into my studies of holistic healing trauma, generational things, worldly things, reality things, food, mind, body, spirit, like everything. So I give thanks to that experience, but I wouldn't have really maximized on that pain and used it as fuel for my healing and my growth if I didn't create space to figure out why I attracted that relationship. If I didn't take the time to actually reflect and to see myself and to see him and to see the dynamic and see the things that I accepted and see the places I didn't love myself. If I did not create the space to see myself and to think and to analyze and put the pieces together, I wouldn't have came out of that stronger and better. I probably would have came out more traumatized and with a very negative, skewed perception of love and men and people and myself. And the whole purpose of pain and suffering in life is to wake us up. But the issue is that a lot of us get stuck in the cycle of getting addicted to pain. So we get stuck in the cycle of using pain to numb us rather than to wake us up. The pain and the suffering starts to become so familiar, we become addicted to it, it's imprinted in our nervous system, it becomes a part of our identity, and we get stuck in this very dark loop, and you start to attract very dark people and dark situations, and it's not a fun or beautiful place to be. So if you are a medicine woman, a healer with a very deep, big, beautiful, intuitive heart, and you find yourself in partnerships that are very dark and abusive and painful, that is your invitation and initiation to wake up more. That is showing you that there are still places in yourself that are not fully developed, that are not ready to rise into your purpose, to actually understand and to be love. There are still parts of yourself that are deeply asleep, and these relationships are coming into your life to shake you, to wake you up, to put that mirror in front of you and to show you your own unconsciousness. Why do I have an aura right now on my fingers? Another cycle that I see a lot of women stuck in is that we don't love ourselves as much as we think we do. We love ourselves on the surface, we love ourselves conditionally, we love ourselves in the times when it's convenient, but we don't deeply love ourselves. We don't actually love our shadows, we don't actually love our insecurities, our flaws, our traumas, the parts of us that are hard to love, we don't love them. So we end up accepting love that is not real love because we don't even have it for ourselves. So a lot of the times, these traumatic relationships, what it's going to do is it's going to not meet your needs. You're not going to experience real love. These relationships literally create situations that force you to love yourself. If not, you are going to either get extremely sick, you could possibly pass away, you could completely lose your life force energy, lose your life purpose, and it's a very dangerous cycle to get stuck in. So these relationships are pretty much giving you the ground to find and discover what love really means. First, beginning with self-love. A lot of awakened women have very big purposes in this lifetime. They are healing the collective feminine, and they are standing as an example of what self-love really looks like, of what unconditional love really means, of what it looks like to have a woman stand in her power, to use her voice, to know her truth, to live in her purpose. It's a lot of reclaiming of these potent energies that have been suppressed and pushed away for a long time. So of course, what comes with that are tests and challenges and things that will initiate you into your path. And a lot of it has to do with pain and suffering, unfortunately. But for a lot of us, that's just what it is. And we see this very often in our relationships. A lot of the times, our hard relationships are going to show us how much we don't love ourselves. With the amount of bullshit that you put up with, the amount of times you allow him or them to cross your boundaries, to not meet your needs, to disrespect you, to disrespect your mind, your body, your spirit, like all these different things. Remember that this is not a negative thing. It's actually sacred. It's actually very purposeful. It's a part of waking up. It's a part of reclaiming the power, reclaiming the feminine truth. So it's like we almost have to go through the battlefield and that war and go through the hard situations, go through the traumatic relationships, go through the painful breakups in order to reclaim true love, unconditional love, healthy partnership with ourselves, with God, and with another person. But it takes time. It takes applied awareness. It takes learning your lessons. It takes honoring yourself. It takes knowing yourself. It's a process, and it's not for the weak. And our hard relationships, they're going to expose shadows. They're going to expose your own shadows so you can continue to heal and rise in your true self. Because babe, you're not perfect. I'm talking to myself right now. You're not perfect. You attract these relationships because there's things in you that resonate with it. There are things in you that like it, that feed off it, that feel a sense of comfort, or you even see reflections of yourself in other people's pain and suffering. And that's why you end up in these relationships, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Remember that these hard relationships are deeply purposeful. They are medicine. They are helping you to wake up and to see yourself more, to see the places that you lie to yourself, to see the places where you lack boundaries, where you're afraid to speak your voice, where you're afraid to let go, where you're afraid to choose yourself. It's going to amplify your shadows. It's going to amplify the places that you're running from yourself. It's going to amplify your not enoughness. And another huge part in the relationship dynamic, especially from the feminine side, is you will begin to really heal and attract better relationships when you stop looking for a man to save you. A man is not your savior. Your husband, your boyfriend, your dad, your brother, these men are not going to save you. The whole purpose of going through traumatic and hard relationships is to realize that you are here to save yourself. And that self is also a reflection of God. You turn your needs, you turn your attention, you turn your yearnings towards God and away from worldly men. And when you make that shift, you will actually begin to align with divine men that will facilitate your healing, that will create a safe space for you, that will honor you, that will be able to be emotionally intelligent and to meet your needs and to be kind and to be generous and all these beautiful things. So relationships will forever be a fantastic teacher if you actually allow them to teach you, if you actually allow them to be a mirror to reflect your own blind spots instead of using relationships to numb or to run away from yourself. And to fall deeper into a dream of unconsciousness and blaming and projection and whatnot. We ain't doing that. And another huge thing for awakened women to realize is that a lot of the times we are seeking relationships because we're avoiding actually stepping into our purpose. And these relationships will end up being painful distractions because we are not focusing what we need to focus on. And I really am a firm believer that if you're a powerful person and you have a deep calling in this lifetime, you should not be seeking relationships, romantic relationships. Your focus and attention should be on your purpose, on rising into your highest self, developing the qualities in yourself that allow you to actually share your gifts with the world, to share the medicine of your energy, of your voice, being able to stand in your truth, like all these different things. Like focus on that because that is where your genuine fulfillment will come from. That is what will fulfill your soul, not that relationship, not that man from Tinder, not that girl you met in the club or the bar. Those experiences will leave you traumatized, hungry, alone, by yourself. Like focus on your purpose, focus on cultivating your gifts, being your best self, and you naturally will align and attract with someone that is on your level and that helps you to rise higher in your purpose. So you might as well heal yourself and then attract another healed person so you guys can actually create more love and truth in this earth instead of more pain and trauma and just repeating the cycles that most of our parents and generations in the past have already been through. These attractions of relationships, especially with partners that tend to lie or cheat or have very bad lifestyle habits and choices, these things are going to help you to tune into your intuition. And once you're able to tune into it, the next step is actually listening to it and acting on it. A lot of us women that have been in bad relationships, we knew from the beginning. Like usually it started off with already like a very clear red flag or a sign that this man potentially is not healthy for us or he's damaged or hurt inside, but we did it anyways. So these relationships are going to help to cultivate our intuition. They're going to help us to be able to better see through illusions, to see through lies, to see how a lot of people talk certain things, but their energy, their character, their inner intentions say something different. You're going to start to develop almost like these psychic awarenesses of how to read people, how to read their body language, how to, like, I can tell within 5 minutes of meeting someone if they're energetically in alignment, if they're going to drain me or if they're going to help me on my path. I could tell just in their mannerisms, in the way that they speak, the way they dress, the foods that they eat, I could tell. And it's important to note that a lot of people are very deceptive because they deceive themselves. Most people run from being honest with themselves about the state of their life, about what's going on in their minds, about what they're creating in their world. Like, people lie to themselves because they feel like the truth hurts. And the more that you lie to yourself and you run away from the truth, the more your consciousness dims and your ability to have strength to stand in the truth, have strength to rise into your higher self, it kind of diminishes and goes away because you're in this dream, in this daze. When you're dreaming, it's not reality. When you run from the truth, that's not reality. You're in your own dream. You're in your own asleep world where there tends to be a lot of pain and suffering and just things that are not in alignment with God and with truth. And you're going to have to go through these situations that are going to wake you up, and it's like pain and suffering. So you might as well just be honest with yourself now. I believe honesty is one of the highest frequencies in the world. I respect people that are honest. Even if the truth hurts, give it to me. Tell it to me. I will love you so much if you're honest with me, because that means you're honest with yourself and that you love yourself. So give me the painful truth over the comforting lie any day, because the truth will set you free. There's like this energy and this spell within a comforting lie where you get stuck in that comfort and you start to live in this world of illusion, in this world of lies, and it's very hard to get out of it. So the quicker you can be honest with yourself, the quicker you can rise into truth. You can rise into what's true for your highest self, for your highest version. Be honest with yourself now, in this moment. What's not working in your life? Where are you lying to yourself? Where are you self-sabotaging? What are the patterns and the things that you're stuck in, but you're running from it because you're so comfortable lying to yourself? It's not cute. It's not a good thing to do. It's damaging. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your future. It's bad for your bloodline. Wake up and be honest with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. Discomfort is a beautiful part of life. It's the most necessary part of growth. So be honest with yourself now. Do it today. Look at yourself in the mirror and make the changes that you need to make. The last thing that I'll touch on this whole topic of relationships and toxicity and abuse and ourself and all these things is the beauty of letting go. Love in relationships is the greatest teacher to remind you to let go, and to let go with love and trust. Because even if it was a bad relationship, even if it was traumatic and you guys fought and cursed each other out and beat each other up, there was still a purpose there. There was still love there. But a lot of the times we enter into relationships with the intention to love, but because we are personally suffering inside and we are unhealed, the love very quickly turns into hate. Because internally for us, our own personal love is masked with hate as well. So it's really all about the inner work. It's all about untangling our own inner drama and bullshit and illusions. And the more that you do that, the more you attract with real love. But it's a process. Bad relationships are one of the greatest remedies to wake us up. But one, you cannot stay in the bad relationship. You have to decide to let go. You have to decide to choose yourself. And when you choose yourself, don't use that time to numb even more, to jump into another relationship, to do a bunch of drugs and alcohol. No, use that time to be hella sober and to see yourself. Realize your own blind spots, your own shortcomings, and do the work on yourself to heal and to come back to true love. That's the whole purpose of trauma and suffering in life, is to actually come back to love and to compassion and to awareness. It's all purposeful. It's all here for us to wake up, okay? So that's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are someone that is in a relationship right now that could be potentially traumatic or painful or abusive, I pray for you. And I hope you understand that it's purposeful. And all of the sadness, all of your needs not getting met and you being disrespected, it is medicine for your awakening. But you have to first understand that. You have to see it. You have to utilize it. You have to choose yourself. Pray, go to nature, cleanse, fast, do the things that you need to do, and all will be well. Remember to turn that gaze to God. Take it away from this world, take it away from that man, from that woman, from those problems, and just bring it towards God. Speak to him directly. He has the answers. He will give you the strength. He will give you the power, but you have to look at him. You have to pay attention to him. You have to honor him, and all will be well. Much love, many blessings. Bye.